Viego Casante into...
it is a riddle that is yet to really be unfurled. Okay, so anyway, the Karma will be locked in here for Call Me. He is going to be playing that one against the Orianna. Of course, they do have the late game insurance of Jiwoo and Peter here towards the bottom side of the map. Yeah. And when Breon do this and draft things that need to do stuff in the early game, we tend to get a little bit worried. Nongshim, however, as long as they've got a team that does work together, things could work out. Let's jump onto the rift for game number 1. Okay, Breon, Hana, do his head.
Okay, Breon, fighting!
Ooh. Yeah. Vladimir Chronicler. Nongshim, Hana, do his head.
Nongshim, fighting!
Woo!
Yay, Nongshim, noodles, yay! Kalista as well as the Viego, but playing it to Karma, I think you don't really want to run any risks. We have seen the early weakness of the Rakan and Xayah lanes.
Clockwork wind up. Meanwhile, here towards the bottom side, Polo's flashing in, looking for Jiwoo, but the Blade Caller is just a little bit too good.
Call Me also absorbing his
ult. Yeah, they all just dive on top of him. He's in the bouncy castle, and there goes first blood. And it's over to Jiwoo. You mentioned things potentially being over in the bottom lane. This might help. Yeah, looking for another opportunity here. Does manage to get the Shattering Strike. There is the Shockwave, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough as Karis does have 300 health, but is not going to be able to threaten too much, as you say. So first buff going to go down, and Sylvie actually sticking around, wanting to collect as many of these as possible he can utilize.
Can suddenly find yourself in a situation where you're like down the soul point as Karis.
Yeah, Sylvie just crashing on in, managing to get the Shattering Strike there. Shockwave onto both of them, but the Magnet Storm still going to pull back Karis, and once again, they just don't have the damage of fear.
What an iconic top laner's Envy.
Call Me just threw that thing to Narnia, and now Envy could be in trouble. There's the flash forward from Jiwoo. He wants this one. There's the Q, and Call Me just steals it away. And now Nongshim just doing their very best to avoid all of this poke, and they are able to do so. The orb not really hitting the targets. And there's a Mega Cone to get the Crocodile in towards the backline. Embers not quite working out here, as there is the Shockwave onto 2. Envy locks down the first kill, as now Jiwoo up in the air and unable to pull back the feathers. It's a disaster as the double kill comes in for Envy, and Bro have come alive.
And unfortunately, Call Me goes down immediately and...
Oh, never you mind. Okay, there is the Magnet Storm, as Karis and Polo are going to get pulled back. Karis is likely to be dead here, but Polo, he's allowed to go back and report to his masters what happened. Yeah,
They don't know!
The Dominus has already been popped, as now Karis is going to get dove upon. It's a decent Shockwave defensively, but he's still just going to get lapped up by the Crocodile. Massive engage as well off to the side. And now Nongshim, they're demonstrating to Bro what they're capable of in these team fights, and they'll look for a Baron immediately afterwards. Mates is now Morgan on a flank angle, wanting to find an opportunity early. Featherstorm here from Jiwoo, as Peter, what can you actually do to try and help this one? As Sylvie, so many sticks in him, as now Envy just trying to catch up. What was Call Me doing there? Go back to Baron and do it again?
No. They're not doing it. They're securing control.
It was running out of matter a little bit here, but he should be all right.
Double flank.
Yeah, Peter. Will he be able to get in there? They do get the control ward down, as now Dundon going to get engaged on that. 3-man Q was gigantic from Call Me. And a 2-man knockback from Morgan, but the feathers, they fly back, and Bro not going to be able to do anything here. The hostile takeover does absolutely nothing.
Such as... winning this game?
Maybe that sandwich you were talking about before?
Yeah!
I don't know what agreements were made earlier.
Just engage on him!
Yeah, well, Nongshim is just going to back away. The Baron is going to get all of his health back, as Dundon, he's just out of here.
Do you have Kalista and Rakan, or Rel Rakan?
Taking a fair bit of damage. He's going to get snared up. Heartbreaker does come down, but the Q is at the ready. Now the Viego going to be far more difficult to get these resets, as Morgan going to get attacked by Dundon here, who has so much health, but it's Sylvie that's taken down first. The hostile takeover rains down, and Dundon's health bar is just melting. Look at how glorious he is when he goes golden, and then he's immediately dead afterwards. Nongshim just kind of flubbing that fight a little bit there, not able to get their ducks in a row. And now Sylvie dead, Dundon dead. Nongshim are going to find it very difficult to do battle with Bro, although the health bars are low. This Baron could be a difficulty.
Pommy gets TP back in.
Karis.
It's never Brover, Atlas!
It ain't Brover. We are both breathing. We are all breathing as Call Me comes on in. Polu getting taken down so low. Karis in trouble. He gets bailed out, and it is going to work here as Jiwoo picks up a double. Okay, Gideon and Envy against the world, and Jiwoo has a full health bar. That is going to be ended, though, because Envy takes it down. And now Call Me, he's going to have to run away. I don't know, what's another Q that we're just completely baffled by. And Envy doesn't want to do the Baron. They are able to take that Chemtech Soul. Morgan wanders into this brush, doesn't get to see.
Oh, they're looking for a TP angle.
Yeah, as Karis going to get crashed into here. This is a little bit of danger. Gets the shockwave out, but that has a pretty low cooldown. There's the quickness, there's Grand Entrance, and a Q going to land on the stationary target. Good at doing damage, but not a lot of them at protecting him, as he's going to get queued, and the shockwave is going to have to be Featherstorm. So Jiwoo now able to get some autos into Morgan, but that's Morgan. That's not the priority target, as there's a Fate's Call right on top of Sylvie, who's the one that can also take damage, and now Envy's in trouble. He breaks the arm guard as Envy going to get engaged on. Peter fights four with the quickness, and now Sylvie with the Magnus Storm. It is a catastrophe in the middle of this team fight, but Jiwoo is still alive, and so is Envy. So it's a 1-for-1 or a 1-for-2.
Okay, just keep pushing. Just hard start the fight. Real, just yeet Polo in there.
Yeah, make sure that you keep these minions all alive. That is what they need to do.
That's it!
As there it is, they do yeet Polo in there, but it is just going to be to try and lock down Sylvie. He's going to get shielded, though, as the hostile takeover comes in, but it doesn't get too much done. The Renekton is still in the base. I repeat, he is still in the base, and now... Oh, Jiwoo's going to have to Featherstorm as Polo. Oh, he gets hit back, and the GA is going to get procced, as now Peter is dashing around the fight. They still have two Nexus turrets up and available. The Renekton is back in here, but it's Envy that's starting to pop off. Gideon going to get feathers ripped through him, and there is the wrath of the dragon. Dundun trying to get health back, trying to use this Sundered Sky, but he pops like a balloon. And bro, after 47 grueling minutes, they managed to take down Nongshim. It was about coordinating together, making things happen, buying Zhonya's on Renekton, all sorts of things like this that really all culminate in what was an absolute joy to watch.
Realistically, Call Me.
One of his favorites, of course, but now Morgan, kind of with a free lane, can pick whatever he would like, and I really do like the Aatrox in this composition. It is just a very short-range handshake between both of these squads until the late game, where Tristana finishes drawing beads and is going to be able to shoot things from a really long way away. But this is going to be a, well, I was going to say going to be a slugfest, but it is going to be a game where teams will be at the height of their strength in the mid-game. But it's not relevant. It is not something that we really want to be discussing here, because I think all of us know, as a collective, that this is going to 50 minutes, and we're fighting for Elders. Let's jump into the rift for game number 2.
Nongshim Red Force. Hana, do set.
Nongshim fighting!
Brion. Hana, do set.
Brion fighting!
You get to the mid game, obviously Zeri Lulu is going to be great. I do think that particularly with the amount of aggression that's available for Brion here, there is even caught mid game, a lot of power, and also we all just watched last game.
Yeah, and they're chasing him down. The Rel making her way in. Polu going to be the target here as he's stunned up and is going to have to flash. Tries to get himself out of there. Oh, Sylvie not able to kill everyone's flashing.
The entirety of this topside jungle might be taken. Instead, it will just be the blue buff.
Yeah,
we'll be aware of that. That is still a sacrifice made by Sylvie. I don't think that Envy and Polo, if they wait like half a second more, Polo wouldn't have survived, and that could have been a kill for the Zeri. That would have been big as
that's a ghosting. Indeed. I don't know whether he's necessarily winning, but right now things not necessarily going as well as they could be, as wind becomes lightning, and there's the audacious charge. Flash forward from Morgan, but he gets stunned up with the boot from the E, and now Dundun is trying to run. He gets a big old shield, but that does not matter, and that is going to be first blood going over to Gideon. Bro, off on the right foot.
As Kwame also misses one. Engaging on Xin Zhao, just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not gonna happen. Good thing though is that Orcs, I assume, is now actually at the ready.
We did give him a bit of a hard time throughout the last game.
I did not.
No, I did. I say we. You were here. Been playing the defensive game on this bottom side of the map quite well, but it has led to Jiwoo with an 11 CS advantage.
Yes, defensive Lucian. Oh!
Yes, and there's a Magnustorm in the mid lane. Karis is going to have to flash, and the Shockwave is nothing. As Colmy's going to be able to lock that one down. Nongshim answering back. They get their first kill.
Don't blind it.
Oh. Colmy is going to dive on top of Karis. Fair bit of damage back, though, with the command dissonance. As now Peter not really able to offer too much. And with the arrival of the Nami, things are going to... Oh, Envy, I'm not sure about the position of that one. Has to flash back towards Gideon here. As Dundun just 100% outplaying him. Or maybe it was Envy outplaying himself. I'm not entirely sure.
That too is Dundun.
Ah, right.
Oh my, I know what it is. Dundun is like, you know Stilgar in Dune?
They are committed to it. All right, Colmy around on the flank here as the crash down, not really doing too much. Magnustorm only onto Gideon, and he has so many options defensively as now Morgan, he's popped the world ender. Jiwoo skates over the wall to try and escape the Aatrox, but the flash forward is so big! The ultimate gonna do nothing for Jiwoo because he's in the death chamber and the knockup's just raining down. The Lord has said the Bro are 2-0ing this series.
Taking so much damage already, and this play from Morgan, absolutely huge.
Not quite able to find the first couple of Qs, but that third one, my god. And I know how you feel about Aatrox's. But when it's Morgan, doesn't it feel better?
Reasonable amount of damage. I'm okay with it as a Gideon.
Well, he's going to have to use his ultimate. There is a tidal wave as well in celebration. As Gideon going to get crashed into, the bubble is going to connect, but it does not matter as Jiwoo collects his first kill of the game.
Is that Nash?
Karis, can you find a hero Shockwave in this moment? As there goes the Baron, but can they keep themselves alive? The Shockwave connects onto Jiwoo. That is a priority target as Envy is kept alive by all these shields and heals. But it is starting to tick up, as we can see. 2.1k as Jiwoo now caught potentially as he's pulled back. Okay, the ulti does come on through. Morgan just going to solo kill Jiwoo, and one of their Barons is now gone.
This is not on the fell of the Aatrox. This is on Jiwoo.
Yeah. And
inevitably the game is going to go to Soul.
Oh yeah, as Jiwoo dashing forward, and Envy is just going to get collapsed on. The Lucian really has done absolutely nothing this game. Drake going to be up very, very soon as Nongshim. They're looking for even more, wanting to dive onto the strongest member of Bro. Magnustorm does come in, and Morgan, he's tanking, he's still tanking, and he's still alive. Trying to kill the main tank.
That's not okay. Okay. See if they're able to utilize that as Gideon does get spotted.
Oh, the culling actually somewhat landing here by Envy this time around. 50% of Jiwoo's health bar is going to disappear as now
Sylvie.
The Bro's coming on in. Sylvie looking for that flank angle as Envy just going to avoid him entirely. He gets knocked up and then bubbled immediately afterwards. Yeah, and Colmy's going to have to press that button if they do want to try and stop this because Bro looks like they're committing to getting this damage down. Sylvie getting into the area is now Dundun getting amongst it as well. Polo taking so much damage is now Gideon with the Crescent Guard into the back line. Polo just goes down, and now Colmy has turned up to this fight. Dundun just running amok, and Morgan, he cannot do it by himself. These resets for Colmy are just gigantic, and Envy once again, a passenger in this game as he's just going to get lapped up. And Colmy just bouncing around like Mario, picks up the triple kill, and this might just be the end.
Of course we're going to a game number 3,
it
Atlas.
was written, Chronicler.
We knew, but what a comeback game from Colmy. Really, after a really rough Karma performance, the Tristana gets picked up, and we were a little bit apprehensive, but man, did Nongshim make it work.
This was not even close. This was Nongshim in control from beginning to end. And yes, Morgan.
I know this is good in scrims, but we might be willing to let it go. That wasn't the big factor, though. I want to give credit to Colmy and Dundun. I think they were the big standouts here.
How did Dundun do the most damage?
No, he actually,
I think if they do lock this in... Oh, never mind. Jace, the consideration. So that's going to be the pickup here for the mid lane. So it's an agreement. We've just got no magic damage. Outside of, you know, some on-hit stuff that good old Nami can provide, as well as, I guess, some of what Sejuani does. But otherwise, it is all physical on both sides. And some big old tanks. Not a whole lot has been decided very early on But we'll see what's going to happen now as we jump into game number 3. Bro versus Nongshim.
Okay, so this is Brion. Hana, duel, set. Brion, fighting! Nongshim, Red Force. Hana, duel, set.
Brion, fighting!
It's a tough situation as Morgan.
He is going to stab Dundun a little bit here, as Sylvie just focusing on his red buff. That's what he wants to deal with. And Dundun just going to walk away now.
He is able to get a bit more done. Might have been enough to...
I believe that's the name. It's a very weirdly named ability. Is now Sylvie going to move up just a little bit in front.
Oh, that's big.
The Arctic Assault is going to miss, but that means that Morgan is running in the wrong direction. The Q is going to connect from Dundun, and Gideon just not able to do anything at all.
You know, specifically into Aatrox as we get a little bit later, as there's not a lot of mana.
That's a flash, and Jiwoo's just going to dash out of the way of it.
Again, getting the flash early was quite nice as here. Call me. Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Just had, as mentioned, this player has struggled.
Is this another replay, or is it the same thing? Okay, well, there's the explosive charge. It's not actually going to get the kill.
The
R1. The R1
it's a
once
curse
again. Just really not working out. Just don't get it. Just hasn't been good. And there's a Fate's Call. He may have to flash this time around. There's the handshake, and he does end up flashing over the wall, but Envy is going to be there, so he's going to use every summoner spell, and he is still dead. It went from bad to worse. I feel like I'm an optimist when it comes to action. As Sylvie is going to get pushed out of his jungle. Maybe Tristana is just the best champion in the game, because Karis looking really good on this pick as well. And we'll be able to take the cannon, so there we go. Not all bad news. As now Sylvie just wants to go for a bit of a walk in his jungle and is instead just going to get thrown around. Envy going to grab himself yet another kill.
It is Dundun.
Yeah, and there is a Glacial Prison. Okay, let's see what they can actually get done here as the Tidal Wave is going to land onto Envy, but he is now far enough away to be safe. Decent culling value. And yes, I know that there are minions that are just dying to the turret as they're looking for a little bit of a battle here, as in they go. Nature's Grasp comes down from Gideon, and Call Me, he's just out of there because Sylvie is very, very dead.
If you commit to that, you have to fully commit. Like, I don't think they should, don't get me wrong, as...
Well, Polu might just die here as Jiwoo looks for an opportunity. Nice bubble there as well as Envy. Also going to be taken down. So what? This is 2v3. Even turning the lights on, man, that's really, really cool. But there's a team fight now as Sylvie goes in. A lot of damage onto Envy, but the bailout is there. It's not going to be enough, though, as now Gideon's in trouble as well. Call Me, cancels like a million auto attacks, and unfortunately, that is going to mean that the tree survives. An environmentalist, I guess, is Jace.
Shutdown going over as... Oh, Karis doesn't know. Oh, no, he does know. They just walk towards mid. That's good, though. Getting mid lane turret, absolutely huge here.
Oh, okay. Well,
I guess it's fine.
Yeah, he's not going to get... well, he does.
It was not. It was not fine.
Says the narrator.
We
should just commentate every single LCK game twice. Is what I'm saying. That's what we should do.
That's the content that people want. Sure.
And we are just on over. There is the Glacial Prison, but it doesn't really find too much there. As Dundun still going aggressive. Of course he went forward. Of course he did.
Palu, that Captain Jack coming out clean there on Morgan. Is he dead?
Yeah, well, it does have to flash, as that Tidal Wave would have been enough.
And then it doesn't work. And then
no, they're not going to... Well, they are going to start and try to force this fight, as in goes Gideon, goes on a very long journey, and actually they've managed to single out Sylvie. Morgan into the backline is kind of working as the Shock Blast somehow manages to miss, as now Peter's going to get flashed on, and Karis manages to lock down that kill. All right, let's see whether they can make something happen, but the Buster Shot is going to push Sylvie away. They're trying to burst this one down. Sylvie has to get in there, but he's not going to be able to. They lock down their soul, and now the explosive charge is doing so much work. Envy locks down the first one onto Call Me, who just went to the skies and gets wiped out. Polu, no, risk it, because Morgan is here. The Lord has found Jiwoo, and he's going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. The culling does come down, though, just to try and soften him up.
Sylvie's going to be here.
Yeah, Sylvie can potentially get over this wall. Oh, this would be the most bro thing to do.
No!
As Sylvie gets it, and it goes down to about 17 HP. Oh, dear. Well, bro, I mean, you knew that was going to happen.
Gives a false sense of security to Brion.
73, so it wasn't 17, it was just 73. And I believe he just got into the pit. And
어떻게 된 거야?
And Morgan is not sighted.
Morgan.
Here we go. Let's see whether he can find it. They dive on top of the jungler as now you can see Karis tanking up an entire culling as Morgan gets into the backline and then doesn't really do too much. And now Dundun, it's his turn. He is taking so much damage though. Oh my god. Well,
Just finished this Surreal does.
Yeah. And there it is! They managed to find the Glacial Prison and he's out of there! Envy now as well! Oh my god, Jiwoo! Taking matters into his own hands!
No way!
Bail that out! With Infernal Soul! Oh dear, well...
The gold lead alone is not indicative of this game because of the Infernal Soul, but if you're... If Noxian get 2 inhibs and just never let Brion leave their base, that could actually be enough. That could be what ends up... There's no way Brion...
It's 19 seconds. 19 seconds until Bro can actually fight them. Because with this Elder, there is nothing that they can do. 10 seconds
Just in it,
time.
right? We're not trying to end the game, right?
Oh, no, Jiwoo. I don't know about that one, but there's a Glacial Prison. They are following up on this. So much damage here. And I love that even after Jiwoo had the most awful
Oh my god, they're
early
gonna try to
game.
end with Nash?
Yeah, they're looking for it. The Baron's still there for another minute, and these Shock Blasts are raining hell
TP!
down upon them. Okay, here's the flank from the Lord. Can Morgan make something happen here? Twisted advance, Gideon explodes as the Lucian takes him down, but he's found the back line! The Morgan getting in there! And Nongshim are running away. They lose the Lucian.
How did they
Gideon
get
goes down
away?
as well. It's 1 for 1, and really, I got really excited and stuff.
Okay, you just played a slow Nongshim. You have inhib lanes pushing and you win the poke war.
I mean, Envy's basically dead to start this one off. Polu's having to flash. There's a Glacial Prison being carried into the brush as Nature's Grasp is used purely defensively. Yes, Jiwoo is taking a fair bit of damage here, but bro, it's going to be so difficult for them to actually find it.
2-0!
He dives over. I mean, is there going to be a chance here? Because, yeah, your Nexus turrets are going to explode. The Winions.
The TP!
Yeah, Colmey's committed to. He's like, I don't even care about this. I'm just going to blow up your Nexus, and that is a perfect way to do it. Brion want one more team fight. They may get one. You've definitely lost the game as Morgan.
Wait.
He managed to make it back there. Never you mind. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Car is TPing back as... Oh, the trap. The trap!
Oh, Jiwoo possibly caught out of position. Envy. Oh my god. Okay, just explode.
They have to try. Yeah, they have to
you have to give it a crack. As now Polu, the dragon, is probably going to yell at him as Sylvie lumbers towards him as this Porro of Doom.
Oh my
Paris,
god!
can you do it? Can you defend as the rocket jump does get him back there as Jiwoo? He's taking so much damage here. Thankfully, the turret does go down. There's the flash twisted advance as Gideon does say goodnight to the Lucian. Still, Colmey's able to lock down that kill. These inhibitors just respawn.
Okay, Dudu TP's in. It's
yeah,
fine.
there are more teleports.
Oh, Atlas!
Dindin's health bar is way too big for Morgan to get through. He's got way too much armor as well, as now Peter and Colmey are going to be able to get this one done. Nongshim, for the first time this season, almost are going to be able to win again. Okay, there it goes. Finally, it is taken down. For the first time this season, they're able to win a 3-game series.
Into Infernal Soul, Atlas!
Yeah.
Is the main takeaway for me.
I don't even know what that was.
I don't know.
Having a look at the damage numbers, Colmey did, in the end, just do massive amounts of it. As you can kind of understand.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the PUG interview translation. And after a fierce battle against OK Brion, Nongshim put an end to their 7-match losing streak. We are here joined by Kami and Jiwoo on the side of Nongshim Red Force. Congratulations on the win, guys. How do you feel about this victory? Yeah, I mean, apparently we were sitting on a very long losing streak. I was wondering if we can actually end the losing streak, and we finally made it happen. It feels amazing. What about you, Kami? Yeah, of course, it feels great, but I still feel like our performance was not clean, so I think we gotta play better, come back with stronger performance. And Kami, you received your first POG. How do you feel about that? I think it was about last year around this time when I first got called up to the LCK roster and won the POG, and it feels way better than then. Well, Nongshim did manage to get a couple of wins up against West teams, but you guys were not able to get a match win. What did you guys focus on in order to end the losing streak? We really wanted to focus on the late game, our macro play, and our performances. And with that effort, we finally managed to get a match victory today. Kami, in game 2, there was a moment where you were able to get a kill onto the enemy Orianna. A perfect synergy with your jungler. Who made that call? I just told Sylvie, like, if you have nothing else to do, just, pay a visit to the mid lane and let's look for a play, and it worked. Kami, Tristana has always been one of your comfort picks, and finally you won a POG on that pick. What does this mean to you? Yeah, Tristana has always been my confidence pick, especially like the jump to mitigate some of the critical skills. And today I finally kind of showed what I can do with this champion. I'm really happy. Jiwoo, game 3 was really difficult, especially having Lucian Nami kind of falling behind early on. I was like, even though we are falling behind early, as soon as I finish my rapid fire cannon, we will be able to catch up. So I was just looking for that item power spike in the late game. And we even had a Baron steal from Sylvie as well. When was the moment that you were confident to win the entire game? After that Baron steal, I was like, this is now really doable for us. It's way better situation with the steal, because prior to this, we were in a very rough situation. How did other players react to that? We were like, we should not die here, so we just have to back off. And Jiwoo, this is actually first time Nongshim winning. Game 3, breaking the Game 3 curse, finally. And we could hear the players were like, why is it so hard to win a series? And how do you feel about this win after 3 gamers? I just focus as much as possible, I think keeping that concentration until the very end was the key. Any ceremony after this valuable victory? Call me. Your famous call me ceremony maybe to the camera? Because you only did a V pose after the win. I really want to say this to all my fans, there were so many games where we were doing decent early on by losing the mid to the late game, but I think we today finally overcame this, so it feels amazing. And he strikes his signature pose. Jiwoo, you as well. In the lane mate bot lane episode, you said you know the Siu meme, the Ronaldo meme, and you're gonna do a Jiwoo version of it. And there he goes. I wish we had Nongshim Red Force fans out here giving you guys so much support live at the venue. Although the playoffs contention is no longer a thing for Nongshim, but it is really important to finish out the remaining matches with the best effort possible. Next week it's gonna be T1 and Fear X. I will make sure to do our best in order to win both of the matches next week. It's unfortunate that we are out of the playoff contention, but we still have 2 matches to play for the regular season, so I will make sure to come back stronger and win both of the matches. And this will be the end of the POG, so that's Nongshim Red Force, and back to the space. Thank you.